Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. I think we can start our first session for the third day of DTW. I would like to welcome everyone to MySec Technology Week. Before we begin, I would like to remind all attendees in the Zoom and Facebook to fill up the attendance form. The link will be provided by our secretariat in the chat box and comment section for the e-certificate. Our secretariat will share the attendance link throughout the session, so please fill up the given attendance list, and please be reminded that the registration will be closed 5 minutes after the session has ended. So I'll give a bit of introduction on our speaker. So we are fortunate to have Engineer Dr. Muhammad Arkam, Cik Munaaim, to share his insight and expertise with us for today's slot. Firstly, I would like to introduce a little bit on his background. Arkam is a highly accomplished engineer with a diverse range of qualifications and experiences. He is a registered professional engineer in Malaysia since 2005 and a fellow of IEM in 2020. He holds 3 competencies as SPAN qualified person with SPAN, a registered electrical energy manager with Suruhanjaya Tenaga Malaysia, and a certified construction project manager with CIDB. Additionally, he is registered as National Industrial Expert with the Ministry of Human Resource Malaysia and served as a technical expert with the Malaysian Green Technology Corporation. Beyond his professional achievements, Engineer Arkam was appointed as a Professor of Engineering, Building and Technology from Jesselton University College, Sabah. He secured numerous memberships and affiliations with prestigious organizations such as the Chartered Association of Building Engineers UK, Chartered Institute of Building, and many others. Engineer Arkam's educational background includes a PhD in energy conservation from USM, a Master of Science in Building Technology from USM, and a Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, UTM. Currently, Engineer Arkam serves as the CEO of Mega Jati Academy Sdn Bhd and are actively involved in engineering education as an advisory and assessor panel member of the Engineering Accreditation Department as EAC or ETAC panel for BEM. So without further ado, I'll hand over the floor to Engineer Arkam for his further presentation on digitalization of competency training for construction personnel Malaysia.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks, Engineer Megat, for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. Today, 3rd of June, 2024. Engineer Megat, my voice, is it okay? Can be heard?
Yes.
Clear? Okay, thank you so much. And today, actually, selamat bercuti on our cuti umum pada hari ini, dan I would like to welcome everybody for the session today. I cannot see the participants' name in detail, but all of you are so welcome for the session this morning by my side. In conjunction with this Engineering and Technology Week 2024. So my topic today regarding the topic they given to me is actually the digitalization of competency training for construction personnel in Malaysia. So allow me to share my screen and my slide. Just share my screen directly. Okay, this will be good because okay, Engineer Megat, okay? Okay.
Yes, okay.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, this is my topic. So I got also my sorry, I need to close this pop-up window. Okay, there's also my QR code to reach me through LinkedIn. I'm Muhammad Arkam Munaaim. currently as a CEO of Malaysia Academy, and one of my scope function is actually to conduct the consultancy and on M&E, and also on this competency training, mainly for construction personnel in Malaysia. So I would love to share this topic today involving the digitalization of competency training. Some of the main ideas of putting this topic is actually to raise an awareness is the online training or digital training on competency construction personnel is doable. Things like that we try to discuss, and maybe we have to show for our participants today regarding the topic today lah. Okay, so wait. Okay, so this is first statement. According to one research made, I will follow up the research later lah. The world we live in is changing at a fast pace. What we teach and how we teach is also evolving rapidly. So this need to be understand. Because why? We can see that since COVID-19, last 2020, and is now 2024, after 4 years, we have been gone through the process of digitalization through networking, while we are using this kind of, for example, today, Zoom meeting or Zoom webinar or seminar, and also our students in primary, secondary school also been introduced to the digital platform in their, educational purpose. So while having that, education system can be reshaped to foster learner-first approaches while also keeping up to date with the growing demands of the 21st century. How we can do this? And there's also research made, and we come into the conclusion that we influenced by technological advancement and social trends toward digitalization also experience a rapid impactful changes. And like all other revolutionary changes, revolutions, you know, is IR in industrial revolutions comes up with these terms too. Digital transformation involves intense adjustment or readjustment, powerful change in the social economic education, result from the globalized economy. But we need to also focus on the education standard, the education quality, decentralization, I will talk about it later, virtual and independent learning. So the first statement here in this first slide is actually talking about the overview of the world changing throughout the digitalization in all aspects. And we also talking about the digitalization in education. And is it possible to talk about digitalization in competency training and certification? Do we have any example to prove that this thing is doable? And what is the current situation in our country regarding these things? So this overview from these 3 paragraphs is actually want to tell us the overall topic that we are going to discuss today. So previously, on the above image is actually the university's challenges, competing to the best university in the global education industry by putting on this process of building advantages and compete by the unique university in the global education industry. But now, today, they put this digital transformation too in between of the process, where everybody or everything now need to be digitalized. The terms Internet of Things, IoT, is very, very important currently today, where everything need to be internet, on the internet. The availability things on the internet is very, very important for resource, for whatever things that we're going to do. Then this digital transformation need to be added together for the university to be competing in the industry. So not only universities, but we talk about our topic today, competency training. Is it part of the education purpose or education aims, where we want to produce a people or produce a competent person through our educational processes. So currently we have all this in Q3 2018. Uh, Even though the topic is quite the image is quite about 4 years or 6 years ago, but the trends are there lah. We can see the Lazada, Shopee, all this Zalora and all those was there in 2018, and currently maybe different e-commerce platforms. But buying and selling through e-commerce also change the way we do the economic sectors. Uh, we do the economic parts of our businesses. So transforming our traditional business into online or remote learning or what we call that e-platform is necessary. So in my my first job as an engineer, for example, I'm still in the consulting engineers as a M&E consulting engineers. So we need also to change this from the traditional, conventional M&E engineers into the transform e-platform engineers. So the terms like marketing, digitalization, cloud computing, data storage, effective meetings through Zoom and whatnot now comes into surface, where we need to use all those facilities to put our business in front or put our business at least relevant to the current trends. And from this images is showing that 90% of households have internet connection in 2019, about 5 years ago. 135% mobile cellular penetration, so we penetrate more than 100%. Population use smartphone to access the internet increased by 93%. So population use smartphone. In fact, our maybe 2, 3, 5 years old kids also now using the smartphones to access the internet. Mobile subscriptions, 70.2%. 40th of speed in global index. Active in social media, 81% of us is actually actively in social media. 66% internet use of mobile banking. So we are very now going towards the mobile banking. Even though in the last maybe few years we don't there is also person who don't who don't not that comfortable to use the mobile banking due to the scam and due to things like errors and whatnot. But the trends are now increasing. Government services are online 90%, and Malaysian ranking in digital adoption index is under on the 41st place, and 144 e-payment transaction per capita for each person 2019. On the right side, digital transformation trends in education, we can see that AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and also mixed reality being used currently now in the education. Classroom set of devices being introduced. I think last COVID also, student with this peranti siswa things also came on board, where the students, mahasiswa, is receiving the peranti from the Ministry of Higher Education. So classroom being set into that purpose. Now you're using the digital platform to teach and to learn too. Redesigning the learning space. There's no more conventional classroom. Sometimes they call it boring classroom, of course, because been there for decades. But now they are looking into this collaborative classroom where they can work and they can do things like more into socializing impact rather than just one way of learning. Artificial intelligence is also came into. We have a very popular chat GPT currently to work into this AI, and personalized learning also comes together, where we understand that students or every learners are not the same. So we need to tackle them by personalized training sometimes, and also game also part of learning process. So the gamification, where they use games as a platform to learn, also come into the process now. So digital transformation trends in education, we have these 6 top one. But of course, they got more to be discussed. But as our discussion today, I think this 6 will be sufficient. And according to Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, somewhere in 2018, 2019, and the projection until 2030, comprises of 3 policy objectives supported by 6 strategic thrusts, encourage industry players to become creators, users, and adopters of innovative business models, harness the human capital, nurture and integrate the ecosystem. So things like integration of whatever ecosystem that we have to be integrated together and bring it up to the platform. So by having these 6 strategies, they are the drive digital transformation of the public sector, boost economic and all those lah. I don't want to touch one by one. I got about 66 slides in 1 hour. So I will I will just touch on the important part only lah. But you can read, of course. This slide also will be available. My last slide will be shown the QR code for you to download everything lah. In PPT mode, so you can adjust by your own needs in future, no problem. So this Malaysian Digital Economy Blueprint also talk about the people, business, and government on how they want to move into the current, I mean, in 2018, 2019, towards 2030 here. Towards 2030. So the creation of 500,000 new jobs, 100% household with access to the internet and all those. On the business side, 30% uplift on productivity across all sectors by 2030, 32.6% digital economy to Malaysian GDP and all those. Government, 100% civil servants possess digital literacy, 80% end-to-end online government services, ministry agencies to provide cashless payment option in 2022, 80% of usage of cloud service across the government in 2022, last 2 years lah. So they got in 3 phases. Phase 1, talking about the foundation of digital platform, and the current stage is actually to drive on digital transformation and inclusion. And the next one on the 3rd phase to become the digital products and solution provider. So when talk about the digitalization, they are in line with whatever is actually doing by our current government, according to impose the digitalization in our industry, in our daily life. So things like this have been also focused by our government through Malaysian Digital Economy Blueprint. By all this book you can read by yourself, but the things are now we are talking about, are we in the right path to do this digital incompetency training? Is it possible to do that by having all those information? So the digital economy has been projected to contribute about 25.5% to the country GDPs in 2025. The same from the same book in 2025. So we need to be on the same boat. When we talk about digital economy, I think all those industry players need to be digitalized too. The conventional services or products need to be put into the digital thing so that we can go by the current stream for the future, business opportunity. And talk about the digitalization, we cannot stop from talking about this IR, industrial revolution, because somehow the digitalization comes after the industrial revolutions, and there is also a perceptions talking about the 5th industrial revolution is actually from the big data or even the AI, things related to the internet applications through data control, artificial intelligence, all those, rather than machine only. So when we talk about the first IR, industrial revolution back in 18th centuries, is introduction of the steam turbine engine. There was the first industrial revolution made in this world. Second industrial revolution, where we introduce the electricity or mass production assembly line through this conveyor belt, is part of the second industrial revolution. The third industrial revolution in early 70s talk about the electronic and IT. In early 70s, there was the semiconductors factories being evolved at that point of time. Until now, they're still there, but following the current trends. And the fourth industrial revolution talking about the cybernetic where internet and all intelligence machine being introduced through IoT and whatnot. So things like this, even though we are living in the current 2024, but understand that how the industry been evolved from first until the fourth revolution is very, very important, because we are going to the fifth revolution very, very soon. So understanding this, so while we are working on this, whatever platform that we're working, whatever work that we are done, we need to be in the same stream so that we won't be left behind. And this is about, some books are referring about 9 pillars, 8 pillars, 7 pillars, 6 pillars of industrial revolution. So I just use this, how many? Five, about 9 pillars of industrial revolution. It's okay for you to use 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pillars, but it's just an example for everybody. So AR, augmented reality, big data analytics, cloud computing, system integrator, additive manufacturing, autonomous robot, simulation, cybersecurity, and Internet of Things are the things that related to the IR 4.0 that will be currently practiced, or currently that we are facing through this 2024, year 2024. So some of the examples are like this. So while using the what we call this, the tools, or iPad or whatever devices, to look into actually how it been operated. They will be linked together with this machine, and also all those equipments, so we can understand on how to do the troubleshooting based on the image, or based on the detectors that been shown through this platform. So things like this is also be there. And floating images through this also there, in our industry. The some of the industry is actually using this. Basically, while you are driving cars, also we have this HUD, head-up display, to show you few main item on the screen. So it is there already. It's there already. So in the industry, it can be very, very useful for us to put as part of our technology, in integrating with our current work. So Google Lens also can do the same thing. In current practice, they are also having this in our market today, and using all these VR, virtual reality devices to look into whatever that can be shown in for construction purpose, for example. So this thing can be also introduced and also popular currently. And things like this also there, we need to also to understand on how it can be useful for our market. And the evolution of data storage. We talk about the last maybe year 80s, when we talk about this 8-inch floppy disk, and then comes to 5.5-inch of floppy disk. Then we have USB drive, we have SD card, we have the micro SD, and now we put into cloud things. So the maximum capacity also starting from 1.2 megabyte to now more than maybe more than tera also, but and commercially available 70s up to 2019 now. 2009 now, basically cloud was there quite sometimes, but the technology and the speed also now been improved quite significantly, and the cost per gigabyte is also decreasing based on the availability of the current technology to absorb the cost too. So this is the evolution of data storage that we can see by our own eyes lah. I think for those who are at my age lah, I have luxury to see this one while on my childhood, and then here also, and up to here now currently. So this is things like evolving in our current industry at the moment, and some of the actual image for all those, for everybody to capture or to remember back in their age previously. Maybe things like this is our part of our our devices in our bag. Now currently, still there are some persons still using scan all this type of data storage, or even the what we call the hard disk, and cloud storage now being very, very popular. We have all those Dropbox online, Google Drive, and all those lah. So many data storage also available for us in the market. Computer from the start to the end, and also the computer, the telephone evolutions, from the the Atur one with this battery carriage up to the closest that we have now. So this is what we have back in 90s, 80 to 90, year 80 to year 90. And the evolution of phone is what we can see. Currently, we are using very highly intelligent smartphones that can do that can ease most of our work at the moment. So back to the digital education. So we have gone through the process of understanding how it been evolved from the day one when we talk about the industrial revolutions, and now going towards our hands devices where everybody having their own smartphones on their hands, and also maybe the devices just like tab or whatnot. So things like that now evolving. So then how we put it into the digital education or digital certification or digital competency training, if you want to put into the digital training. So advantage of digital education for students, of course, it comes with disadvantages too, but I just want to talk about the advantage at the moment. For example, we have this personalized training where you can personalize your own accounts based on your own needs and your own preference, and also lecturers, teachers will look into it and understand on how to be personalized into your own needs of education. Makes students with digital technologies and tools. So we put it how we can engage with these digital technologies and tools at the same time. So of course we need to have the internet connection. We need to have the devices. We need to have all those equipments to link together. So indirectly we learn how to make it possible for us. Deeper involvement of teachers and parents. Well, we need to monitor, we need to what we call that do the assessment through online. All those things needs to be involved by our teachers and also parents. Better engagement rate. While we can see the engagement rate, if we can have a very what we call that interesting session, engagement will be there. Make students more accountable. While they need to have a self-learning mode, they need to have a self-regulated mode, because no one will be looking into them for that purpose of reading or watching or even using the platform for learning. So accountable for their own work, because they will be assessed in the end of the session. So things like this can create the self-regulatory practices among the students. While they need to have their own time management, they need to have their own what we call that timetable to learn, and then make them familiarize on how to get things, how to get the information before go for assessment, for example. Extensive learning opportunities, of course, extensive, very, very extensive. You can learn almost everywhere. You can learn almost everything through the internet currently nowadays. I will share a few available platform for you to learn, either free or by pay. So basically, there are so many things that can be learned through online learning. Motivate student. While we can have this kind of platform, maybe the process of marking system can be introduced inside the platform, so the marking rates, all the star ratings can be appear. So things like that can motivate students competing while with others. Make students smarter. In this sense, smarter is IT savvy. They need to use the devices, they need to use the internet connections, they need to sometimes good in English too, because they need to learn things through English platforms. So the exposure for the students is more and more extensive in the digital education for the students. So again, the digitalization is talking about all this, skill set, support technology, support adoption by the private sector, promote lifelong learning, counteracting the brain drain, where people need to find some other places for their work. Strengthen regional cross-border digital collaborations, improve the ecosystem for startup. So 6 reasons to go for digital is all those. Again, 30 minutes to go, so I need to go quite more faster lah. Yeah, but you can read later. Okay, now we need to do this as one of our example on EDX. EDX. fuel your ambition on how we can use this as part of our uh, learning process. Okay, now this is an online edX platform. So from here, sorry. Okay, you can see more than 260 leading institutions can be learned through this platform. MIT, Harvard, Berkeley, Boston University, from Google, University of Cambridge, Texas University, Columbia University, London School of Economics, and all those lah. I cannot uh, one by one. So this is things that we can also explore. New in edX, artificial intelligence implication for business strategy, Oxford Executive Leadership Program, business sustainability management, and we can also look into all these criteria or even what we call the popular search on the internet. And from that, this is executive education. This is meaning to say this is professional education, but at the same time, they have also certificates. This is like one of short courses. This is like certificate courses, certified courses. And they have also a bachelor degree from University of London. University of London through Bachelor of Science in Data Science and Business Analytics. Explore more bachelor degrees. We have all these bachelor degrees in accounting, business, computer data science, cybersecurity, finance, health and social humanities, and all those. So it's now there already. Online bachelor degrees from the edX through all these universities been also introduced through the platform, online platform. It's all online. And not only degree, we have masters from this Texas, Amazon College, Boston. You see, explore more master program. Let's see what is related to us. MBA, artificial intelligence, computer science, cybersecurity, analytics, information technology, leadership, general business, engineering. Yeah, we have also engineering program. Master of Science in Computer Engineering, Syracuse, and Computer Science, Artificial Intelligence. So there is things like this currently on the internet. So meaning to say that our program now or our online learning now, law also, got laws, public health, healthcare, social work, counseling, and nursing, all those, project management, upcoming master degrees. So things like this now is actually on the board already. So while we are still talking about, is it possible to do online or digital learning? Is it possible? Is there any way? Is there anything that we can discuss? But while we are discussing, there are University of Sydney is providing this master of project management through online, 100% online, through EDX. So other than this, we need to understand the trend now is looking for whatever that we can get easy and fast. Easy and fast. So this kind of online learning or online certification can get it very, very fast and easy too in terms of the enrollment, in terms of payment, in terms of online materials and all those. Not easy in terms of the difficulty or the complexity level of the education. So they need to have these things through the proper what we call that assessment and also the delivering process, so the quality cannot be compromised in this kind of education. So what I'm trying to say is actually the things are there already. The things are there. Either we like it or we don't like it. The things regarding the online process certification I've shown you, while we can get this online master, online bachelor through online EDX from the renowned university from the UK, from the Australia. Just now we have soon seen that. So it's there. So it's there. So how we want to cope into this into our own ambition. So there are a lot more. I can just share you 10 of them. 10 comparison of this index. We have LinkedIn Learning, Data Camp, Plural Site, Skill, Udacity, Khan Academy, Code Academy, Udemy Business, Cloud Academy, and CBT Nuggets, and also Skillshare to learn about all those platform through the digital platform. So meaning to say that even though we might feel that is it possible to do this competency training through online, or how you want to digitalize the training through the online platform, while our training is actually talking about the competency. So by having this living proof, is actually doable. It can be done. Only how to put it into the proper delivery or proper uh, program set up, while having all those components of education components at the same time, so that things can be also happen. And we need to understand that our current generations also uh, very, you know, engaged with this kind of platforms, while they have been exposed to the smartphone since young. So they more I mean computer phone savvy than us, technology savvy than us. Sometimes they know better than us in terms of learning. They have been also introduced in Malaysia. We have MC Plus tuition, is very successful example, while we can have this kind of tuition online at present. So things happen. So higher education strategy in digital transformation, I've quote some of this content through this link journal from these uh, researchers regarding the higher education strategy in digital transformation. Some of them is talking about this framework. We need to understand on how it can be done. While talking about higher education in digital transformation, I think this is the base on how we can understand and how we want to progress towards this. The first of all, from the left side, we need to have these impactful changes in terms of five, at least, criteria. They are the standard of education. I will touch into the standard of education in this presentation too later. Quality of education, virtual learning, independent learning, decentralization of education, and then mark into this university evolutionary learning and development and agile based strategies on workforce, and then we mark into this using AI, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, IoT, and big data to building advantages using digital transformation technology, to build the advantages using the digital transformation technology. So we need to be serious on this. Digital core competence need to be derived, and digital usage need to be there also, to go for global coverage, integration, program management, world-class student experience through all these platform on digital platform. So they also source over there. You can find it later lah. If you want to read for the full for the full papers there, it can so be download. If I can share you the link directly from here, you can download and read it by yourself lah. So the change need to be run through the process of having these impactful changes up to all those intermediary process, so that you can produce a world-class students experience through our process. So things like this need to be added on if we really want to have this competency training for our construction personnel successful. So back to our local uh, framework when talk about the competency in Malaysian construction industry. This paper was presented by CIDB in Korea in 2017. I want to snapshot few important information from the paper, and you can also download the paper from this link later lah. I put the link over there, so I don't introduce anything new. It's just using the template that have been formally uh, published by CIDB Malaysia. Definition of competency. CIDB is the regulatory body for the construction industry in Malaysia and responsible for the various development and activities associated with the construction industry, including the assessment of construction personnel. Define construction skill competency as ability of a construction personnel to perform successfully the construction task within a certain work scope in accordance to the required competency standard as specified in the NOS or other equivalent competency standards recognized by CIDB. So there is actually the definitions of construction skills competency. Ability of a construction personnel to perform successfully the construction task within a certain scope of blah, blah, blah. The construction personnel who achieve the required level of competency will be recognized as a construction competent person, CCP, but not, I don't think the terms is being using now at current place after 7 years. The term construction competent person is not there. It's not there in our practice at the moment. So we use straight away the competence level lah. Recognition process required by the certification and accreditation by CIDB according to the lembaga, blah 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 lah. Okay, that is the first thing that I want to share. The secondly is initiative in developing the competency skills gained through experience at the construction site. These construction personnel did not go through any formal approach of obtaining competency. This is some of the overview or the background of the studies. Currently, the Government Technical Vocational TVET has 8 agencies using different set of standard in competency training. This anomaly in standardization creates confusion among TVET training institution, blah, blah, blah. So some of the problem statement lah, some of the problem statements based on their research in 2017 by CIDB. So things like this is also reported in this report. And CIDB also developed their own construction industry competency framework like this, starting from the supporting framework, CMs, advisory council, and all those development until the training frameworks and also assessment framework also be there. So there already. So the framework regarding the construction industry competency framework is also there by CIDB Malaysia. So they have been, launched the program in 2019 after 2 years after this paper been published by CIDB Malaysia. TVET, CIDB lancar TVET pembinaan kerja belia serta industri pembinaan. In the last 2-3 days, JKR or KKR also talking about this TVET pembinaan quite many in their social media, because the Minggu TVET Negara is actually coming next week or next 2 weeks. So the progression towards understanding the whole framework is also very, very important for us. Construction works, I don't want to read, but you can read it later because we got few more minutes to go. But to cut it short. Construction Skill Qualification Frameworks, CSQF, developed by Process CIDB. There is actually a national qualification framework by CIDB Malaysia through their own Akta 520, Act 520 CIDB, specifically from 33A and also 33B, source of power, where CIDB can do the assessment accreditation for the construction personnel. And some of them also following the Malaysian qualification framework through JPK program through NOS JPK program. And they also put it into the TVET qualification by UNESCO Univoc on how we can assess, on how we can participate at the international level in terms of the qualification framework programs. Produce about these 4 documents related to the CSQF previously, and currently CIDB is running through all this. And this also a snapshot from the CIDB website. So while they have this on the box there, supervisory program and also project management program, starting from CSS up to the SCM in their website. So this is actually the programs that be conducted by CIDB for the construction personnel, available in both modes, the face-to-face mode and also digital mode through learning management system available, run by the providers as well as the CIDB's holdings at the moment. So currently, the programs are running by the providers in both modes. We can have a hybrid modes. We can have also physical modes. We can have also the online, fully online mode. It's being available in the market nowadays. So we are following through the trends and the digitalization in education or sector or the training sectors for us to be in the mainstream regarding this technology. And some typical construction line team line up to make us understand where at the position of all these competent person under the CIDB. We have client, consultant, contractors, but we put things together. Contractors is actually responsible on having this CSS, CTMO, CCM, CCPM on their website, on their site, management site or construction site. Facility management, FMM and FME also part of the contractor or contracting activities under the X. So FM is also defined as a construction activities according to the X. So in other side, where we have the BM and also what we call that, BAM, Board of Architects and Board of QS. So they are considering the consultant of the projects. Contractors is actually the parts of having to deliver, to execute, to construct the project. And here, where we can put this side by side from the board engineers or board architects, for example, contractor from CIDB, Lembaga Pembangunan dan Pembinaan, starting from the scope of work, design coordination, we have inspector of works, and then we have the resident engineers, we have the project managers and also project director. Meanwhile, in CIDB or the construction, contractors point of view, we have the certified site supervisor, traffic management officer, project engineer, construction manager, and also project director together. So they are side by side doing work and inspect the work by this supervisory and also the inspectorate members to inspect the work carried out by the contractors. We look to the CIDB competency programs. They have four, not four actually, up to level 6 now. They have level 1, level 2 skill trades program and level 3 trade supervisor. This is the leaders of the skill 1 and skill 2. All those programs, 25 programs, is based on the schedule 3 from the X. And they have also 4 specialization from 4 main supervisors category at level 3. And then level 4, talking about site supervisor, building architecture, mechanical work, electrical work, construction, traffic management officer. And level 5, talking about construction manager, civil risk construction manager, FMM, dan project quality manager. And the top one is actually managerial at level 6, construction project managers. And on the other hand, the online training is only available starting from level 4. Starting from level 4, because we understand that skill trade at level 1 and 2 is more to the hard skill where they use their hands, what we call that, this cognitive and as well as this psychomotor domain. Psychomotor domain is more dominant in level 1 to 3. Psychomotor, where they need to use their hands to do their work. For example, bar bending, pipe fittings, painter, wiring, wireman, and also installer and all those. So the hard skill comes to install the things supervised by this supervisory level. And this starting from level 4 is available online. The training certification for level 4 available online starting from there. Because level 1, 2, 3 is actually limitation. If you want to go for this online learning, online training, it cannot be done because some of it will be assessed through their ability to construct, ability to install. How we want to put it in the digital mode, it cannot be possible. But it can be part of the assessment using the hybrid mode, where you can have an online classes and then come back to the workshop for their psychomotor activities. Meanwhile, in the supervisory and managerial level, they are into the paperworks. They are into the paperwork preparation, submitting forms, understanding how the process through the reading the drawings, reading the flow charts, and do translate into drawings into the actual installations. So that can be done by having an online mode. But not only online 100% learning from zero, no. Usually the level 4, 5, 6 needs to come with specific entry requirement where they need to have some exposure on how to do that. And then also being discussed. This is what we name as a recognition of past experience learning, RPLE, part of the process of assessment when we talk about this, what we call that, remote assessment or remote online learning using the platform of online e-learning. So there are 25 skills traits listed in third schedule for level 1, 2, and level 3. For this level 1, 2, 3, we have this skill as mentioned in the third schedule ATA 520. So if you can see from blaster and painter up to this concreter, all needs this hand skill to work with. So it's very impossible to assess someone with the psychomotor abilities if we don't go for this physical mode. So it can be done through hybrid learning. For example, 30% on the online learning, 70% need to be on site. But for level 4, 5, 6, it's more to the documentation preparation plus the recognition of past experience learning, so that can be assessed through the what we call the online mode lah. Outcome-based program, of course, things like this require the either outcome-based or performance-based, because we just have a very short time to assess them. They have maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of experience. It's not possible for us to dig everything during their start work until now in the portfolio forms, but we can ask them questions, and that question must be tally with their experience. So outcome-based process requiring all these program outcome, expected attributes, program and learning outcomes mapping, and also rubric to do the assessment, as also the delivery on how we can derive them, as this, how we can describe them as the person that we want in our industry by having their own descriptors. So this descriptors is actually the program outcomes, how we want to describe them. This description will be describing this personnel, and is he fit to this description. So that is the process being carried out by CNB Malaysia, and we also doing the same part on the delivery of the online training. So I mentioned about the descriptors. These are the descriptors telling about what is the person looks like, and how to describe them in the manner of the things that we want. So the marks being given by modular marks, even all these modules transcript or module score, and then from here they will calculate into the average mark for each program outcome or each descriptors. From these descriptors will show you the marks for this, and they will show some ability, the summary through this what we call this spider web graph chart. So we got 3 steps to mention about your what we call this ability or your attainment in your program that been carried out. Some of the example of the certificate plus the transcript. This is the certificate, this is the transcript. You can see PO outcomes 1, PO up to outcome 5, and we have this descriptive statements on to describe the person by himself. What is the character? What is the attributes from one pegawai pengurusan trafik pembinaan tahap 4 that we want? So they have described it into the outcome statement, so that you need to tailor to that statement to be in that position, to be understand as a past candidate, meaning to say that you need to fit to these descriptors, only you can pass. So passing mark is 70%. You can see from this baseline on the blue lines, and also the competency line, what you call as the names is there also. Competency line by the right line. So this candidate just passed on border 70% passing mark. So he passed about 70%, and all average mark through all POs also more than 70%. So this is what he achieved lah. And this candidate getting better, they can get more than minimum average. More than minimum average mark for 70, you can get more than about 80%. So this is what the spider webs looks like lah. And other than this, we can have also other competency program in Malaysia. We have CIDB, DOSH, DOE, the Energy Commission, SEDA, and also SPAN. We can read all those later. I have also talked about this quite sometimes. You can also find in my YouTube channel from our company. There you can see all this, talk about this more detail. But I want to touch a little bit more on the main competency program. It's not just like here in CIDB, but other government department or agencies also conducting the same competency program too. So we can now see that basically the competency program is everywhere in Malaysia. We have from DOSH, DOE, the Energy Commission, SEDA, and also SPAN, and they've been conducted in many ways too. Moving forward, all this program need to be on digital version, because people looking into this kind of programs but they don't have much time to attend on the physical 5 days, 10 days, 20 days program. For example, DOSH for this safety and health officer about 20 days program. So they cannot be available for that. But if you want to put another mode, for example, university program and another, it also can be introduced. But at least online need to be there to cater all those needs for the workers and not be able to participate in the full 20 days physical mode.
Sorry, Dr.
Okay,
Arkam.
5 more minutes.
We have another 5 more minutes.
Okay. Let's try to make it faster. The scope of TVET should be based on recognized employment standard. Things in the recommendation towards improving technical and vocational education training in Malaysia. You can also download this document and read by yourself. I want to put it more faster. The national TVET provider landscape. This is how it looks like at the moment. We have many agencies to work into this program. Internationalization. We have touched into UNESCO Univoc just now. This is what we do have here in UNESCO Univoc from the German website, where we are partly participate in this UNESCO Univoc International Center for Technical and Vocational Education and Training at UNESCO. We participated in the international platform from this TVET country profile from UNESCO Univoc. So what is the best ways to participate into the international level other than the internet-based programs? Internet-based programs. We can understand also the MQF level from level 1 to level 8 and TVET level. I've told you that the competency program training on online 100% is just can be carried out from level 4, 5, and 6 on the managerial and supervisory side. Other than that, need to still to have on the hybrid or at least on the physical mode to assess them. ICED, this is the standard dimension, but I cannot explain more because time is limited. You can read by yourself, and all those have been explained in this slide. And also the documentation for you to further reading if you are interested, more than 4,000 pages altogether. If you want to read, it's all there for you. And also alternative assessment in higher education, also practical guide to assess learning, possible steps in certification process, starting from the entry, experience, qualified, and also getting certified. The things are very similar. Only now we X of our current mainstream program where we can get the certification through the work-based learning. Some key point from the discussion. Is it online learning certification is acceptable? While having all this discussion, try to think online learning is acceptable. What is the outcome-based method? Recognition of past experience learning, continuous professional development, experience requirement duration, performance-based criteria, quality control, frameworks interchangeable, educational-based or industrial-based, and the most important is actually how the industry will accept this. Because education can do their parts, in providing or producing the trainers or the learners or the students, but is industry accept the output from the education institutions, from the universities, for example, or the industry will take them and again need to polish them 3 months, 6 months before they are ready to fit into the industry. Things like that need to be further discussed. So there is a slide for you to download. I can leave you about 30 seconds. Please download the slide presentation. And we are ending up to the final slide of 66 pages together. So with that note, I think, is there any question, Mr. Moderator, for us to entertain?
Thank you, Dr. Arkam. So we have one question here. How does the digitalization of competency training in the construction industry impact the construction growth?
Okay, thank you for that question. First of all, the development or the development of the construction personnel comes together with the numbers of construction activities or construction work that we have in Malaysia currently. So of course, in every construction site, we need the construction personnel to work with together. I have segregated between the level 1 to 3 on the skilled workers and level 4, 5, 6 on the supervisory and managerial workers on the construction. And how does this member impact into the construction industry? The first of all, while they are being trained and certified, we can get some what I call this, idea on what are the level of person inside that construction in terms of the quality delivering based on the members of the construction personnel. For example, if we have, let's say one company, let's say 30 members, 10 of them are PhD holders. So how we can expect that company perform if the all PhD holders are performing lah? So some indication is there. If we can have a construction industry, let's say 200 workers, half of it are certified by CIDB construction personnel through level 4, level 5, level 6. And the construction workers at the lower level, level 1, 2, 3, being certified through their skilled workers. So how we can assess that while having these numbers compared to the project quality that will be delivered. In terms of project quality, in terms of the, for those who don't know, in terms of the safety, for example, in terms of the progression and how they work ethics, on how the culture of the safety culture of the good governance, good engineering practice been done in that kind of project while having these numbers of construction personnel. So it can be impact in such ways lah. It can be impacted in such way. So other than that, in our, of course, our human resource, talking about the Ministry of Human Resource, they have these numbers of what you call that, certified construction personnel. Then they can have it on publish, so that we can know that our construction personnel is now being certified, accredited by the CIDB Malaysia, for example, and then they can be impact and search the quality manpower that we have currently in Malaysia for investors to take note from there. I hope I can answer the question. Is there any more question?
Any other questions from the attendees?
So if the numbers of construction personnel being certified, accredited by CIDB can represent the actual work ethics and work delivery, what we call that, culture, of course, it can be straight away impact the construction growth by having a good, qualified, certified, competent personnel in the construction site. Of course, the construction activities can be impactful according to that. Compared to a construction work doesn't have this kind of people. They might have their own school of thought and working by them. Not in the integration for those peoples on the same projects lah. I think hopefully it can be answered your question. Again, is there any more question? We can download the slide again, and we can invited to connect with me through LinkedIn, so that we can have this session impactful for us.
Okay. Thank you, Engineer Dr.